Good morning, everybody. I want to take you along with me today. It's going to be a big day. Got a lot going on. Got to go take care of the chicks out in the pasture first thing. And then I got to run to the post office and pick up a new batch of chickies. And but then I'm going to get in the truck and go to Jacksonville to pick up about 1,200 pounds of feed, which will get me about another month. And I'll be running out and have to do it again next month. But I also want to meet or introduce you to Charlie Harold, who has Charlie's Chicks up there in Jacksonville, and he's the distributor for this awesome feed that I found, the non-GMO stuff that comes from Georgia. But hopefully maybe Charlie can give us a little information on why this feed is worthwhile and why I go to all the trouble to get it. And then we'll do a quick tour of his place. He specializes in baby chicks, and people from all around Jacksonville come and buy his baby chicks, and then he raises his own meat birds and eggs too. So he's got a lot of information, and he's really a fun guy. So let's have a great day. Bye. Here's my daily preparation setup. I've got all my water buckets full, and I got a feed bucket full of the feed I need for today. And it's a pretty simple operation. I try to be organized when I leave the house. I keep the chicks about 4 miles away on Wendy's horse farm, and it's perfect. Lots of grass. So here we go. Going up Wendy's driveway. You can see the pens up there ahead of us. They're coming into view now. Looks like I got some baby chicks out running around. That's always fun. Gotta go get them rounded up. They stay warm in those little boxes at night just to keep the chill off, but we had a pretty warm night last night. Now let's go see these other little goofballs. They were able to get out from underneath the pin there, but hopefully the hawks haven't found them yet this morning. Look at all you guys. Let's get you back in there. And I plugged up the escape route. That's to a fresh patch. You can see they did a little mowing job yesterday. That's in one day. Sunday, let's see, 2 days from now, I'll be processing these guys. They'll be really nice 3.5, 4 pound birds. All right, I got all the pasture chores done. Got everybody moved and fed. Now for the fun part, we're going to the post office. We're gonna get some baby chicks. Okay, the post office guy wouldn't let me video him. He was too shy. I told him he was the chicken. Is that some cuteness or what? Okay, all you fluff balls. Let's get out and run around your brooder. Yeah. Oh, baby. Oh, they're so soft and warm. Oh, plucked your head off. Uh-oh, got a little baby one, didn't make it there. That happens. The guy gives me several extra. Just part of the deal. These guys were born on Wednesday. Today's Friday. Oopsie, beep. And they actually can go 2 or 3 days without eating. So first thing I have to do is get them water and some chick starter. Water going. Ooh, zippy. Zippy, zippy, zippy. Get another water in here for him here in a couple hours. Well, here I am driving down 95 going north. I called Charlie earlier and told him I wanted to have an interview with him and talk about the feed and everything, the Resaca Sun feed. And unfortunately, he is delivering a bunch of young egg-laying hens today, 400 hens, and so I'm gonna miss him, but his wife's gonna load up the feed for me. But I thought, okay, there's just some things I want to share with you guys as to why I buy this feed and why do I spend 8 hours one day a month going to get it. I heard a podcast yesterday from a really interesting couple up in Minnesota that farm organically as well as some non-organic, and they were talking about how they weren't able to get non-GMO feed, and he said it just didn't make sense to him to drive several hours to go get that feed, that he was just going to use the conventional feed for his chickens and his hogs right there and close to him. And boy, I really respect a lot about what the guy was saying, but I'm completely the opposite. I know so deeply that this non-GMO feed is the only way I can go, and I will drive to get it. It costs me $80 or $90 in gas, but even the feed store in my town, if I was to have them haul a ton of feed out to my farm, they'd charge at least $50 just to do that. I think I can spread that $80 over, a month's worth of chickens. So I disagree. I think I know what I'm trying to do, and it may be inconvenient for several years for me to do that to get what I need, but I'm going to do that. So one other really, really important part about feed is its freshness. A lot of the feed you get at some of the feed stores, and certainly the big box stores, that feed is several months old, and it oxidizes very quickly. This feed that I'm going up here to get today was milled 2 days ago, and so by the time it's already run through my chickens, it won't be any more than 30 to 35 days old. And that's a very important factor, because the nutritious value, the nutrition of this feed falls fairly rapidly once it gets 2 months old. It's I'm not going to be feeding that to my animals. So that's another important point to me. Now I could get that at my local mill, I'm sure I could, but again, I trust the nutritional content of this feed I'm going to get. I've talked to the people who design the feed mixes, the ratios, and I know what kind of micro trace minerals they're putting in it. Matter of fact, I use some of those same trace minerals over the top of feed in general whenever I feel like the birds need a little boost or something. So I really, really trust it. And then we get back to the big issue of GMO versus non-GMO. And of course, GMO is everything that's wrong with agriculture today. We've really, I think, gotten to the breaking point with this big monocrop type culture where a farmer raises 1,000 or 2,000 acres of soybeans and corn and nothing else. And that's just devastating to the soil biology, the soil erosion. And then of course you've got to be able to dump a bunch of fertilizer on that land to keep it productive, and then you got to hit it with herbicides, and then you got to hit it with pesticides, because the crop is sick from day one because there's nothing in the soil that the crop needs. So if the farmer's not perfect at applying all the stuff on top of it, the plants get weak, they get sick, and boy, the insects, they can sense a sick corn crop from a long way away, and then they have to hit them with pesticides. And of course, they've designed this fabulous, miraculous seed that that grows a plant that can be sprayed. Man, the more you know. And I know enough from my background. I learned about conventional agriculture all through my childhood and up through college, and wasn't too wild about it then. But I know for certain now we have to absolutely do that differently. We need to create living soils and healthy plants and rotation, of our crops and our animals. There's a whole bunch of interesting stuff about rotating, chickens behind cows and sheep behind the chickens, and let the ground rest and the grasses regrow. It's really fun to learn about. So anyway, so that's kind of why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I think that it's clearly evident in the quality of the product that I'm able to grow, and I hope that you can taste the difference in the chicken too. So that's my soapbox for right now, and I'll be in touch with you in a little bit. All right, it's almost time for a rest stop. I'm going to take you someplace a little bit crazy. Back when I was a kid, we used to do the 2-week family vacations by car. We went all over the United States, and we even went to Mexico one year, and that was nuts. We went down to Mazatlan, went through the mountains and everything in a Cadillac Sedan DeVille. My mom loved Cadillacs. This thing was huge. We had 4 kids rolling around in the back seat of that thing with no seat belts on. Very comfortable, but boy, after a long day, we'd always stop at Howard Johnson's, and you'd see those orange roofs they had, and we couldn't wait to get there and go swimming in the swimming pool at the Howard Johnson's. That was a lot of fun. But the other place, whenever we'd stop at a Stuckey's, do you remember those? They had a blue roof and about every kind of candy and novelty toy you can imagine, but pecan logs and pralines and ice cream. And so I loved stopping at the Stuckey's. They were all over. You don't see them. I don't know if they even exist anymore. But I'm going to take you to a Stuckey's on steroids. This place is nuts. It's a little bit over the top for me. I usually, when I am gotten my refreshment, whatever, a little snack, I'm ready to get the heck out of there because there's a little too much humanity going on. It's like you're at a Disney World or something. But it's quite impressive. I normally avoid places like this, but I wanted to share the spectacle with you. Hopefully I can get in and out without too much time. There are more people here than at a Miami Dolphins football game. This is a truck stop. Here we go. I made it. I actually got a pretty good parking spot. Unbelievable. I just can't believe this. There's 2,000 cars here. All right, this is your everyday truck stop. I won't make this too long, but I got to show you one other thing. A whole wall of jerky here.
Pretty impressive, right? Wait till you see this. Look at all this jerky.
Try the Korean barbecue one.
Who knew?
Hot up there.
Beer 807 and 73.
Look at that. 32 bucks a pound. I'm gonna have to get me some of that refreshment and I'll be back on my way. There, it didn't take too long. Back on the road.
Okay, gang, it's all done. It's been a long day. Just got all that feed moved into tubs and safe from the vermin. Time to go hit the hay and get up in the morning and go to market. See ya. Thanks for coming along.